So there's another there that I think can resonate with some of us, maybe most of us. And some of us, including myself, have the belief that creating a family is a there. Like if I could just create a family, I'd be there. Like that would be a there for me. And I certainly had that belief. I grew up in a family of 5 and very loving family. And I always wanted a family. And I felt that if I could just create a family, we'd be there. And so that was what we were up to. The problem was that that wasn't so easy for my wife and I. We started out and we tried to have children. It didn't work very well. And we went into the realm of infertility. And that was a long journey. And it had a lot of pratfalls and a lot of ickiness about it. It wasn't all fun. There were funny moments about it, for sure. One of the things, before I enter into the realm of the fun part, is some of you have people in your life that are in that realm of infertility. And, ironically, Beth and I had 2 opportunities. We came very, very close to being on the Today Show twice to talk about this in front of a national audience, because our experience was pretty profound. And so one of the things that we heard a lot, and if you're in this realm and you have somebody in your life that's in this realm, there's a couple of things that I'd like you to consider never saying again. One of them is, you just need to relax. As if somehow that would just help. Just relax. You're trying too hard. We heard that a lot. Oh, just have fun. Just have fun with the process. You've obviously never had pressure sex. It's not so much fun, right? And so, anyway, in the process, there were some funny moments for sure, and one of them a lot revolved around my experience. So, as part of the infertility process, there's this great thing called the White Room, and the White Room, in most of the practices for the infertility clinics, sits right next to the lobby. So you actually walk through the lobby filled with women, all know what's going on in the White Room. And so you go in, they hand you a cup and they'd say this to you: "I'd like you to make a contribution." Like, what? So you go into the White Room, and this is where the fun starts, because you have no idea what's the appropriate amount of time to be in the White Room. Like, how long should I actually be in here? Everybody in that lobby knows exactly what I'm doing. It's a nightmare. So you do what you do, and you kind of, I don't know, and you walk out, and every woman in the lobby acts like they don't see you. Like they do this, except one thing: they're all timing you. Like, whoa, dude. That was way too quick. So that was part of the experience of going through infertility. And so one of the things about our experience is, and I'll get a little choked up about this, is my wife's commitment to the process. It was her that drove everything. Her commitment was just overwhelming me. It overwhelmed the process. I was interested in having kids. She was committed, no doubt. There was nothing that was going to stop her from us creating a family. And so, in life, that's a pretty big distinction that we live in, I live in, is the distinction between being interested and committed. That's a big one. In other words, what are you interested in, what are you committed to, and who are you committed to? I mean, really committed. And what's your willingness to see it through? Because in my mind, willingness is just about everything. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to undergo to get what you want? What's the willingness? And so Beth's will, her willpower, pulled us through that experience, through a lot of trials and tribulations in that whole realm. And it's just a choice. Like, her commitment drew me in. I was just interested. But as you look at your life, just notice the things that you're interested that you're not actually doing create suffering. Just look. Not too long ago, I played a gig. And it happens a lot when I play a gig. Somebody came up after the gig and said, man, I am so interested in playing guitar. I've had a guitar for 15 years. I'm like, okay, great. When are you going to play? I didn't actually say that, but I thought that. When are you going to play? Like, I know what happens when he goes home and he realizes he's not playing. He's just interested. What happens to your spirit when you're in the world of interested and you're not doing it? There's no action. Spirit meets us at the point of action. What action would you take to move into commitment? And it's just a choice. It's not rocket science. Most of you here got in Steamboat from being interested in living in the mountains to committed. What brought you here? So I live in Silver Spur, which is, how many, you know where Silver Spur is? It's about 7 or 8 minutes outside of town. And as I said, I have 3 kids, and we've lived there for 11 years. And the entire time that I've lived there, there's been a school bus that comes into our neighborhood at 7:15. And my kids have never seen that school bus because we take them to school at 7:45. And the thing about our when we take our kids, the 15 minutes before we get them out the door are easily the most loving, graceful, peaceful moments of the entire day. We literally float to school, don't we? I mean, we just overwhelm it with love. It's a nightmare, let's be honest. And usually in every family, there's one perpetrator that holds the show up. Am I right? In our family, he shall remain unnamed. His name is Colin. He's our twin boy. And Colin is just such a light. He's a beautiful kid, except when Colin gets up, he can't find his shoes. And if he finds his shoes, he can't find his socks. And if he finds his socks, he can't find his lunch. And if by some miracle he finds all those things, he can't find his ass. Every day, Colin! Ah! Every day, Colin is a nightmare. So one day, last year, Colin gets up, puts his shoes on, his socks on, gets his lunch out the door at 7:15 to catch the bus. My wife and I looked at each other like, what the hell just happened here? Oh my God, that is a miracle. And we literally did float. Without Colin, it was so easy. We just went to school. It was so graceful. Next morning, Colin gets up, does the same thing. He's 14. What's on the bus? A hot girl. So for 6 glorious weeks, Colin never missed that bus. Ever. And the shift in our family was amazing. It was so fun and so easy. In fact, the shift was so profound that I called the mom of the girl and I said, listen, I got my checkbook out. What's it going to take for a 6-year contract? I didn't actually make that call. I wish I would have, though, because shortly after that, she dusted Colin, and now Colin's back to being Colin. And the reason I told you that story is for 11 years of his life, he's interested in getting out the door at 7:45, and then one moment commits to being out the door at 7:15. It's just a choice. In fact, this whole night is a choice about who you're being and how you're being in your life. How are you showing up being? It's just a choice, and there's nothing wrong with suffering or whatever, but it's still a choice. And so we have this family. We have a beautiful family, but we're not there. No way. In fact, we're getting farther away from there all the time because I got 3 teenagers that remind me that, Dad, you're not even close to there. All the time. So, interested, committed. I love it. I want you to just look in your life and ask yourself, what am I interested in? What am I committed to? And who am I committed to? And what's my willingness to be bold and take an action? And something that might change my life. So this song was written about that journey through infertility. It's called The Song in the Silence. And it's just really a homage to my wife, Beth, who is sitting here, who I adore more than anything. We've been married for We've been married a long time. So this is called Song in the Silence. There's a song in the silence. I wonder if you can hear. And there is peace in the chaos, but only when we can't disappear. And there's a light in the darkness. I close my eyes and I can't see. There you are as you stand before me. Listen close. Listen to what it is that I say. Oh, I want you to run with me now. Stand naked, stand lonely, stand beside me right here on this hallowed ground. And there's hope in the desperate heart. Oh, but you must feel the pain. And there's sweet surrender, surrender in the minds of those that play the game. And the truth lies buried beneath the fear. So somehow we must break those chains. There you are as you stand before me. Listen close. Listen to what it is that I say. Oh, I want you to run with me now. Stand naked, stand lonely, stand beside me right here on this hallowed ground. And love is not some poet's dream. Oh, break the chains, and you will see the time when it's on our side. Trust yourself, listen close, listen to what it is that I'm saying. Oh, I want you to run with me now. Stand naked, stand lonely, stand beside me right here on this hallowed ground. 'Cause I hear you, I see you, I feel you. Oh yes, and I need you now. Oh, won't you let yourself go? Won't you just let yourself go now, girl? And stand with me. Stand right here with me on this hallowed ground.